You may thought 2K24 steals were insane, but wait until you play NBA 2K25 and experience these lane steals, these on-ball steals, and also bumping animations. You're gonna understand that it's gonna be very sickening to be a dribbler, be even trying to passer. If you're somebody out here with a pass accuracy that's low, like bro, a 75 pass accuracy might not even get the job done this year. How crazy the lanes are. And if we out here with gold and Hall of Fame interceptor, just imagine you playing somebody with Hall of Fame glove and Hall of Fame interceptor. You're gonna have a long day. But today we're going to be making a lockdown build on NBA 2K25. This build will be a 6'7". You can make it a 6'6" and a 6'8" if you want to. The lowest I would go is 6'6". The original build was made from a 6'6" actual like setup, so some of the stats are going to be a little bit different what you see on the screen. So I would say if you want to change the weight, make the weight around like a good 230, something like that, for you can have a 90 strength. But as of the build being a shooting guard, you can make it a small forward as well. 6'7", I'll say go 230 something pounds so you get that 90 strength with a 7'1" wingspan, but you could raise that higher to like a 7'3" wingspan or max it out. But when the actual stats, I end up going over perimeter around a 92, 94 perimeter. I was thinking about the cap breakers. That's the only reason I didn't show y'all this build at like a 99 perimeter and 99 steal. As a lockdown this year, it seems like it's no reason that you should have no 99 steal or at least a 96 steal on this game. As a lockdown, you should at least have a 96. I was messing around with some of the accuracy, what I can get at gold, what I can get at Hall of Fame, and what I get at legend. At legend, we know it's 99. Automatically, you got 99. You get there on legend, red badge, all lit up. But if you want that, you know what I'm saying, Hall of Fame, I recommend that 96. If you want to use that cap breaker, or you want to end up using your cap breakers on perimeter defense, you can do that. Go 99 still, use your cap breakers on perimeter, and you can end up maybe getting like a 97 perimeter or something like that, or even a 99 a perimeter based on how you want to set it up. But for the steal, I did not mean to leave my steal at 91. I wanted to end up leaving it at 96 so I can end up having Hall of Fame interceptor and Hall of Fame glove, so I can end up using at least 3 cap breakers on my steal if I wanted to do that. But when it comes to the actual blocking on the build, a 74 block will end up giving you paint patroller. That's literally anchor on this game. So for you to know, this is anchor, and then high flyer denier, that is chase down. So nobody get confused with these new names and things like that. High flyer, that's literally going to be chase down artist, and then paint patroller, that is literally anchor badge. So if you want to end up getting both of these, just make sure you put up your interior to at least 60, and then you can up the vertical. I went with 80. 80 is usually the sweet spot for lockdowns. You could go 78 or 75, but I went 80 usually. But as of this, you could go 74 or 68. It's just your preference. If you want to go for more chase down blocks and you don't care about paint protector, that's up to you. But I prefer to have both. But hey, if you want to say attributes, just stick with the 68. If you don't care about none of them, you can go with a 60 block if you want to. But with this being set up this way, I wouldn't want a 60 block. I know I love having high rebound on my actual lockdown, but I wanted to end up messing around with a few things before I even touch my rebound again. So I just gave it a 60 rebound. The speed and agility, I'm gonna break this down real quick. Now, as you being a lockdown, this is mostly like a catch and shoot lockdown that can still dunk the ball and things like that. When it comes to your speed, keep your speed as high as you can. I say 86, 87. When it comes to the agility, do not skimp out on agility, especially if you're a lockdown. Now you see, I only went to 80 because you get on ball menace at having an 80 agility. But I'm telling you this now, put your agility up higher than this. 80 is the baseline just to get the badge, but I recommend you at least have your agility at least an 85 plus when it comes to this, 85, 90, because this also affects your movement off ball, your lateral movement. You want to make sure that your speed and your agility are the main things that's going to be up, especially being a defender. So you're going to have high speed, high agility, and high strength. Don't worry about the strength right here. This is an 82. This is when I was working on a 6'6". That's why I told you to make the build 230 something pounds, so you get at least movable force on goal, or so close to Hall of Fame, because you need like a 90 something plus to end up getting Hall of Fame. So if you end up doing that or even going for legend, just know you will not have any finishing on this type of build. Like if you want to have just a decent little 70 dunk, you're not going to have a 70 dunk. If you want some standing dunk, you might be able to get a standing dunk like a 65 or something like that, but it might not be too crazy. Now when we get to the pass accuracy, now like I told you before, that 75 pass accuracy might not get the job done. I know you're a lockdown and all, but it might not get the job done, especially how lanes are. So I recommend you at least try to get past the 80, because I tested out a few NBA players that had under 80 pass accuracy and it literally was getting lane in the actual games. But when I had Tyrese Halliburton and players like that with high pass accuracy, the passes was just zipping across the court. So I recommend y'all at least have an 80 pass accuracy bare minimum. But when it comes to the shooting on this build, only reason I went 7-1 just because I don't know what bases are going to be the glitchy bases or the bases that's going to end up changing the game, like the T-Max and things like that. So that's the only reason when I went 7-1 wingspan. You could end up going 7-3 like I told you and have like an 86 mid-range or something like that. That's up to you. The only reason I went on that 7-1 wingspan is just in case certain bases in the game are going to end up being good and you need a high mid-range or a high rating just to get it. But you do get set shooter specialist, you do get shifty shooter, and you do get deadeye, and that's very good, especially for somebody that's going to be mostly a catch and shoot type player. Now with the standing dunks, I end up giving this build a 81 standing dunk, but remember, this is not going to be like this because I did not change my steals back to 96. Now you see the dunk is going to be 75, something like that. You can drop it to 70 if you want to. Even if you want to do 65, that's cool. But most of the layup and dunk is going to be around the same thing. I'm going to have a 70 layup, maybe a 70 dunk, and then my close shot I'm going to be like a 75. Post controls must stay where it's at. But when you look at the build, it's a balanced build when it comes to being just a catch and shoot lockdown. Like, you're mostly going to be in the corner, you want to hit your shots around the perimeter and things like that. And like I said earlier, a few things that's definitely going to end up changing, that you might need that 96 steal for that Hall of Fame interceptor and glove if you might end up doing a cap breaker thing. Make sure your agility at least is around 85. Don't end up making that mistake and end up anything under 80 is crazy. 85 agility, it should be your speed, it should be the same as your agility. It should be high, it should be up in there so you be able to go around the court, move laterally, and you don't move like a snail. Now when it comes to the strength, I told you up the weight, so you can end up getting to like that 91, 92 strength, so you can get a movable force on Hall of Fame, or you can end up getting it on Legend. So keep that in mind when it comes to making these lockdown builds. That movable force on Hall of Fame and that movable force on Legend is going to be a big game changer, especially having that interceptor on Hall of Fame, Gold, and even Legend. But now with the takeovers, I wasn't really paying too much attention to the takeovers, but there's some takeovers that gives you a great amount of boost when it comes to perimeter and steal. That's called glue, and you end up getting a +7 if you end up using those two. And then if you end up using Midi Magician, you got Mirror, Nuisance. These takeovers that have two things that actually give you boost are going to mostly give you a +7 once you get it to level 5. It's a few of these in here that only has one boost to an actual attribute, and it gives you around +15 to that attribute once you get it to level 5. So keep that in mind. Certain of these takeovers that has double attribute boost will end up giving you +7 at level 5, but the ones that are single attribute boost, like Mini Maestro, is going to end up giving you a +15 for your mid-range, and this will give me a 99 mid-range in takeover. A 99 mid-range in takeover if I end up using this right here. And the shooting ability is called Silky Shooter, that makes perimeter shots easier off the dribble. Now you want to pay attention to these takeover badges as you make your build, because some of these badges you will not be able to get if you don't hit a certain threshold or you don't hit that certain requirement, because at the top it tells your requirement that you need to end up unlocking certain takeovers. So if you want to build your build that way so you can get certain takeovers that you're looking for a specific play style that you want to play, that's one thing you want to pay attention to, because you see, I can end up getting some crazy stuff if I only put my attributes a little bit higher to unlock certain things. Not only these attributes are important for these badges that you want, they're very important when it comes to the actual takeover you want, because this CLOUT takeover only requires you to have an 84 steal, and if you run this and you get it to level 5 with an 84 steal, you will have a 99 steal. And since this build has a 94 steal, I will only have to get level 1 to get a 99 steal in takeover with this CLOUT takeover. Now you need to really do your research, y'all need to really study this builder when it comes to getting certain things. I'm telling you, the takeovers are insane, especially the shooting takeovers. You can end up losing takeover if you end up missing a shot and getting it right back when you hit a shot. It's like a heat check takeover. But for the shades you end up getting Herbert Jones, you get DeJounte Murray, but the build name that you're going to end up getting is a two-way, it got to be a two-way catch and shoot, two-way spot up, a two-way catch and shoot threat, basically a two-way spot up threat from last year. It's a cool, decent name. I've seen a lot of good names, like a switchable lockdown defender, something like that. It's a lot of good new names that's going to be in the game. But like I told you, this build was originally a 6'6", This build is originally a 6'6" build I was messing around with just to see if I like it, things like that, because you see I got a 70 ball control, 70 speed with ball, but at a point I felt like it was pointless just because the weight, because you only want to match out at a certain weight. You're 6'6", you ain't gonna be able to go 250 pounds on a 6'6", or 240 something pounds on a 6'6", so you had to make this build at least a 6'7", so you can get that 90 strength, so you can end up getting that movable force on Hall of Fame or even on Legend. Now look, with all this stuff I just told y'all, hopefully this is a lot of information y'all consume to end up making one of the best lockdown builds in the game for y'all that fit y'all play style, so you can end up going into the right direction. So make sure y'all boys drop a like on this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you turn notifications if y'all haven't yet. I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one. Make sure you check out the 2 videos on the screen, man.